A Virtuous Woman, Proverbs chapter 31, verses 10 through 31. In this chapter, God explains how a woman is, who a woman is in his own words. In verse 10, God said, "Who can find a virtuous woman? For her price is far above rubies. The heart of her husband doeth safely trust in her, so that she shall have no need of spoil. She will do him good and not evil all the days of her life." A virtuous woman. I was listening to a YouTuber about submission, submission, submit, submission. It even says it in the wedding vows when in the wedding ceremony. Well, I don't understand why a lot of ministers don't use this chapter as a blueprint of how a marriage should be to a woman, husband and wife. It says it here in the Bible, in God's own words. He said, "Who can find a virtuous woman? For her price is far above rubies." Women, do you not understand what that means? This is out of God's own words. I didn't say this. It's here in the Bible in black and white. Your price is far above rubies. Do you know how much some rubies are, the price of them in the world? God said you are far above that, and you have to believe that. And not only that, it speaks about how her husband should be. He says, God says in his own words, her husband is known in the gates when he sits amongst the elders. Amongst the elders. And when we choose someone in marriage, we should read this chapter. I don't understand why the ministers are not preaching on it. You cannot submit to anyone until you know who you are. Who you are. Who are you? In God's own word, he tells you here in the Bible, the virtuous woman who finds her, meaning the husband, her price is far above rubies. And this chapter, men should read it and choose wisely. If the woman that you're seeking after is not fulfilling what this scripture says, then you should walk away. This is a blueprint of how a marriage should be. This is a blueprint of how submission is. You can say submit, submit all day long, but do you understand submission? Submission is love and trust and honor. And if you don't have those in your marriage, you have nothing. It will not last. A lot of the things that we have, a lot of people are going by the way of the world. The scripture tells you to be in the world, but not of the world. Being of the world will cause you to lose everything, if not a lot. Not only that, a virtuous woman should love herself, the person that she sees in the mirror every morning. The first commandment in the Bible is to love thy God with all thy heart. The second one is to love thy neighbor as thou love thyself. Well, how can you love anyone when you don't love the person that you see in the mirror? And when you love yourself, you will treat others accordingly of how you would want to be treated. And once again, in God's own words, who can find a virtuous woman, for her price is far above rubies? You are priceless. We are priceless. And I dropped the mic on that. See you later.